But perhaps the most profound issue surrounding my receipt of this prize is the fact that I am the commander-in-chief of the military of a nation in the midst of two wars. We must begin by acknowledging the hard truth. We will not eradicate a violent conflict in our lifetimes. There will be times when nations, acting individually or in concert, will find the use of force not only necessary but morally justified, said Barack Obama after receiving the Nobel Peace Prize awarded to him. Nobel Peace Prize for a man who didn't just burn an entire region for his political benefits but also confessed about it. Wasn't it a cruel joke? Obama left a terrible legacy. He achieved nothing on the Syria front. 1 million people died under Obama's watch. By the time Trump took the reins of the USA in his hands, the Middle East was up in flames and America's European allies were destabilized by the impact of refugee flows. But truth has a habit of coming out sooner or later. And an uncomfortable truth about Obama is about to be unveiled in American and Canadian courts. And Joe Biden, Obama's democratic successor and mentee, is trying everything to stop it from happening. Hi and welcome. This is TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. And I'm your host, Atul Mishra. In this video, I will tell you about how Democrats are in a huddle to save their favorite president from being branded a war criminal. Let's begin. Two lawsuits filed in the US and Canadian courts against former spymaster Saad Al Jabri threaten to reveal the United States counterterrorism secrets, especially in the Middle East. Because it fears that US secrets will be revealed in court, the Biden administration may file a civil lawsuit against Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Last August, Saad Al Jabri, a former Saudi intelligence chief who fled Saudi Arabia in 2017, sued Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, also known as MBS, in a Washington DC court, alleging that the prince sent a hit squad to kill him in Toronto in October 2018. Al Jabri worked closely with the CIA on anti-terror measures in the aftermath of the September 11, 2001 attacks as a top Saudi Interior Ministry official for decades. MBS wants Al Jabri dead, according to his lawyers, because he has access to sensitive information about the government and royal family and was close to Mohammed bin Nayef, the Saudi crown prince who was deposed in June 2017. MBS's lawyers have also accused Al Jabri of embezzling $3.4 billion from the Saudi government through his anti-terror programs. Al Jabri, of course, refused the allegations. Al Jabri's lawyers have said in court filings that an examination of the United States government's counterterrorism and national security activities may be required to defend him against this charge. The Justice Department is concerned that this could reveal US secrets. According to a US official, the CIA is also looking into the situation. The Department of Justice filed a document in a Massachusetts federal court on April 26th, indicating that it was considering intervening in the case because Al Jabri intended to describe information concerning alleged national security activities. According to the Post, the filing said accordingly, the government is considering whether and how to participate in this action, including, if necessary and applicable, through an assertion of appropriate governmental privileges. According to a 2011 document from the Congressional Research Service, the DOJ would resist court-ordered disclosure of information during civil litigation if there is a reasonable danger that such disclosure would harm the national security of the United States. But in reality, Al Jabri's revelations would ultimately harm the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, and Biden's DOJ is fully aware of the possibility. Al Jabri dropped into the scene as a close confidant of Naif bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, who was then Saudi Minister of Interior. He became an ally, a key advisor, and a mainstay link between the Western intelligence agencies in Saudi Arabia. Al Jabri was appointed Chief of Staff in 2003, and after the Riyadh compound bombing, their focus shifted to Al Qaeda. Rehabilitation programs and closer information sharing with Western intelligence agencies were among the changes made to counter-terrorism methods. It is claimed the reforms were instrumental in the foiling of the 2010 transatlantic aircraft bomb plot. The 2010 foiling of the transatlantic bomb plot was an important event that increased the confidence in Al Jabri-led Saudi Arabian intelligence. 2 packages, each containing a bomb consisting of 300 to 400 grams of plastic explosives and a detonating mechanism, were found on separate cargo planes. The bombs were discovered after intelligence from Saudi Arabia's security chief was received. They were on the way from Yemen to the United States and were discovered at 2 stopovers along the way, one in East Midlands Airport in the United Kingdom and the other in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Al Jabri went with then CIA Director John Brennan at CIA headquarters and British Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond in London in July 2015, with the permission of then Minister of the Interior and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Naif. He went to the White House the following month to discuss the Saudi-led intervention in Yemen. Despite briefing the royal court upon his return, Mohammed bin Salman is said to have believed that Al Jabri was plotting against him with bin Naif. On September 10, 2015, he was dismissed from his government positions. The Bush and Obama presidential tenures were important in the life of Al Jabri. Both US presidents have had pursued interests in the Middle East. Obama's war in the Middle East was aided by Saudi Arabia, and it was aided by Al Jabri, who acted as the point of relationship between the West and the Saudi Kingdom. Barack Obama's misadventures in the Middle East are well documented. The Syrian War, the Arab Spring, the Yemen War were all brainchild of the former president, who was deeply vested with the interest of the US industrial military complex. The deep state agenda to pursue the war to fill their own hefty coffers was actively pursued by Obama. The Biden administration is particularly eager to see Al Jabri released and for tensions in the case to be resolved. Al Jabri's actions in the Middle East were aided and abetted by the Western powers backed by the US under Barack Obama. Al Jabri helped the Obama administration gain curated intelligence which would aid in their pursuit of war and, in effect, fill the coffers of the industrial military complex. Several US officials who have worked alongside Al Jabri have voiced support for him, with some acknowledging that he was privy to sensitive information. Former CIA official Philip Mudd wrote in a US court affidavit, Dr. Saad worked directly with at least the CIA, FBI, Department of Homeland Security, White House, Department of State, and Department of the Treasury. Where the United States had actionable intelligence and tactical information, we gave it to Dr. Saad. In its April filing, the Justice Department said it anticipating engaging with both sides to understand their positions, suggesting it was keen for an out-of-court settlement. Daniel Hoffman, a former director of the CIA's Middle East Division, told the AFP, "The more important thing for me is that MBS is holding Dr. Saad's kids, essentially extorting Dr. Saad. That's very much against the humanitarian values of the United States." Therefore, Biden's DOJ is doing everything it can to protect the former president's secrets from being out in the open. While Saudi Arabia still remains the USA's major ally, the Biden administration is afraid that any curated counterterrorism secrets being out in the open would malign Obama's legacy and will severely impact similar operations in the future. The war lobby in the United States would not take kindly to this hindrance.